chat, everyone. So during this session, and at the end of this session, book creator John and Jen have so graciously stated that they have a couple of giveaways, and so I'm going to put a link in the chat here for you to be able to uh, get registered to sign in for this session. You will also be able to get like a certificate and everything for attending when you sign in. But then also, that is how you will get registered for the door prize giveaway that we are going to do at the end. All right. So I think we are ready. It looks like we're ready on the back end. We are live in the Facebook group. We're also live on our channel as well. So I'm going to turn it over to you, John.
All right, awesome. Well, like I said, I'm really excited about this, and thanks for joining us here today. For everybody on Facebook and everybody here live with us on the webinar, thank you. I'd like to have my colleague Jen introduce yourself first. I didn't put a page in my book for you, Jen. I'm so sorry, but I have to change that. But Jen, could you tell us who you are and what you do?
That's all right. That's all right. Yep. My name's Jen Cousins. I am the account manager for the Western Territory. So I work with everybody on the Western half, and I'm located here in sunny Colorado.
All right, and I'm John Smith, for real. I am the iPod teacher on Twitter. So if you are on Twitter and you want to give me a shout out, that's great. If not, that's okay. I'm also John Smith at bookcreator.com. So I'm always happy to answer any questions that you may have about Book Creator after we talk about all of this. I guess maybe real quick in the chat window, if you could, let me know what your level of expertise is. If 0, meaning no knowledge of Book Creator, all the way up to 10, meaning that you could teach the session and I can go take a nap. But that's fine. Just let me know where you're at on the spectrum and we'll kind of go from there. But I taught special ed for 12 years and mostly 5th and 6th grade. After that, I taught as a technology integration specialist for 7 years in a different school district. So after 19 years in education, I'm now even more in education with Book Creator. And so as the teacher success manager here, one of two, I basically get half of the United States and the other half of the world, and my colleague Catherine, who you will see in future webinars here, if you come back, she gets half the United States and the other half of the world. So lots of webinars, trainings, sales, support, renewals, basically anything 8 and 5. Let's see what else. I love golf. So I don't know if there's any golfers out there or not. There haven't been a lot lately, which is a bummer. Love golf, but this one usually gets the hands raised. Does anybody have a dirty car? And the reason I ask that, Jen does, the reason I ask that is because I am a certified auto detailer. So if you have a dirty ride, and you're anywhere near, I'm more than happy to get that car cleaned up for you. Lydia says always, right? So, and I don't know if that was always has a dirty car or always happy to help out with questions. Either way, all right. So, again, if you have any questions, put them in the chat window. I will answer them. Jen will answer them. Lydia will help us answer them. Anybody that can answer questions can, just jump right in and answer questions. All right. 3 months. Oh, Jen, I'm embarrassed to call you my friend. 3 months. So it's terrible. All right. Anyway, moving on. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take that deep dive into Book Creator. And I know that there are a couple of you that are about middle of the road on Book Creator's knowledge. There's some of you that are way up there at the 10. But I think with everything for you, because not only are we going to talk about the ins and outs of Book Creators, we're going to features. We're also going to talk about some of our new features that we have announced. A couple weeks ago at ISTE, and one of the things that just went live on Monday. So we're really excited to share that kind of stuff with you as well. All right, so first things first, for those of you that have never, ever seen Book Creator before, this is our website, all right? So app.bookcreator.com, and Jen can throw that in the chat window there for me. App.bookcreator.com. So that's where you're going to go to create an account. Now, we do have a free account that you can sign up for. We do have a paid version as well, but we'll worry about that later. So for right now, you're just going to go to this website. Now, for those of you that are multitasking and doing lots of different things at once, I want you to push pause for a second. So when you get to this website, don't just start pushing buttons, because I know that's what you're going to do, because we're teachers and we're excited and we see that sign in with Google button, we're like done, and we click it and we're ready to roll. But be careful, because right here, this big yellow screen is actually our student sign in. All right, so you need to be careful there. So right under where it says student, there's a little blue button that says switch to teacher. So you're going to switch to teacher, and it's going to put a big blue screen right there in front of you with an owl. Then you're going to click the sign in with Google, and you're going to be set. All right, it's going to allow you to create your free account here within Book Creator. Now, it's going to ask you a couple questions. What do you teach? What grade levels? That kind of stuff. Jump through the hoops, answer the questions, get through it, and get right into your account. All right, and that's what we're going to start jumping in here to today. So when you create your account, it's going to look like this. After you've created your first library, you won't see any books in there. There's plenty of time to make books. But before we get into Book Creator's features, I always like to go over here to the black lines. All right, so these 3 black lines here at the top left will take you to your teacher dashboard. And with the free version, it allows you to make 40 books in one library. All right, so this here, the teacher dashboard, this is where all of your books and libraries are going to live. Now, we do have a door prize later, and maybe without spoiling it too much, I will say that other than the free version, the full version allows you to make 1,000 books unlimited libraries. So you can really do a lot of damage with unlimited libraries. You can make a library for every class. You can make a library for small groups, certain projects. You can make a library for every student if you wanted to, and use Book Creator like a digital portfolio. So lots of stuff you could do there. The next question I always get is, well, how am I going to use Book Creator? Right? What am I going to use it for? Well, that's where the Discover section comes into play. Because here in the Discover section, you can see all of the amazing ways that kids are using Book Creator. So right here, we have books by grade level. So you're simply going to click on the grade level of your choice. And here you will see sample books written by students and teachers. And some of these books are absolutely amazing. Are amazing what kids come up with, the ideas they come up with, the ways they show that they've learned something by putting it into an amazing book. So definitely want you to look at those. Underneath that, we have books written by our ambassadors. So we have about, I don't know, I think 1,000 ambassadors at this point. And those ambassadors, a lot of them have created these amazing books for us. And these are books on a huge amount of topics, everything from differentiation to formative assessment, how to use Book Creator in high school, social emotional learning, digital citizenship. And if you click the little white arrow here to the side, even more. One of our newest books that we just had come out is this one in the middle. It's Science Notebook using Book Creator, which is really awesome. Social studies, math, reading responses, design tips, and everything in between. So highly encourage you to take a look at this Discover section, because you're going to find a ton of ideas for using Book Creator. And Lydia, I know that you said that you were a 10 on there on the scale of Book Creator use. And I think you've run out of ideas. Go here, because there's about 1,000 more, right? So absolutely love this. And she's an ambassador, so of course that's even better, right? Awesome. So down here at the bottom, this is my favorite area, and that is books by subject. And the reason I love this is because usually when you say Book Creator, right, that's when English, language arts, reading, writing teachers get super excited. They're like, yes, books. And that's when everybody else just kind of starts looking around like, wait a minute, do we make books? Do we make books on a subject? And so this is a great place to go, because you can see how Book Creator can be used in every subject imaginable. So every subject imaginable, every grade imaginable, any child, right? My own daughter was 4 when she started making her own Book Creator books. So I don't know if I've had anybody younger than 4 do one yet, but any child, right, can really do one on their own, and if not on their own, in groups. So amazing stuff there. The next tab across the top, for those of you that are not super familiar with Book Creator, is a really important one, and that is our Learn tab. And the reason I love this is because after this webinar is over and Jen and I leave and we don't come back until next week, some of you might start having questions, right? Like, oh wait, what did he say about accessibility features? What did he say about, publishing, that kind of stuff? Well, we have our support articles here that will help you. So if you ever run into any questions that you don't have an answer to, you can always find those here in the support articles. All right, now, this is something that is new, and I was hoping I might be able to stump Lydia a little bit on this one, but she said she was an ambassador, so she probably is not stumped by this. But one of our newest features is our certification program. We've actually had a certification program available for about 2 years now, but we just updated it. All right, and so apologies for my hair in this video here, yikes. But on the left, you will see 18 videos that will take you on a deep dive into all of Book Creator's features. So if there's something that you missed today, you can always go back and watch these videos on your own time, at your own pace. Just check it all out. And then once you've watched all the videos and taken the quiz, you become a Book Creator certified author like Lydia there. All right, and so you're gonna get a cool, awesome certification badge that you can download, put in your email signature, put out on social media, wherever you want. And now we have a brand new certificate of completion. And what's really nice about this is that we had a lot of teachers reach out to us and say, listen, we love the certification program. Do you have a certificate? And our answer was always, no, we don't. I'm sorry, but some schools really want that certificate. And so now you can download a certificate with your completion hours, your name on it, and you can even send it to your school, maybe get some license renewal credits or PD hours, things like that. So really, really good program to go through. And in the last section across the top, I'm actually not going to talk about too much just yet. That will come toward the end, but we also have a new app store. So this came out in about January, I guess. But a lot of people still haven't played around with it yet. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the apps here in a little bit. All right, so back to our library here today. And so this is where things really start to get fun. So I've created the library as a teacher, and the next important thing is to get the kids in it, because that's how they're going to make books. And so right here at the top of your library, there's a little button that says invite code. It's underlined in blue. So I'm going to click invite code, and a code is going to pop up. I'm actually going to put that code into the chat window. So if you want to participate in this library here today, you certainly can. Do not give this code to your students. I do not want your students in this library right now. All right? This is just for all of you that have joined us here today. So once a code pops up, because you're going to get a code for every library, you're going to give that code to your students. And then your students, when they go to our website, are going to make sure that they're on the big yellow screen for students. They're going to sign in, and it's going to immediately ask them for that code. All right, now for teachers, it's a little bit different. Once you're in your account, if you go to the 3 black lines at the top left, you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom of your teacher dashboard. For some of you, that journey might be about that far. For me, it's way, way down the page. And down here at the bottom, there's a button that says join a library. You're going to click that button. You're going to enter that code that we just gave you, and you're going to click join. And that is going to get you into the library. Hang on one second. Sorry. The Amazon guy is out front, and usually that means he's going to knock on my door, and if he does, my dog's going to go crazy. So I was trying to get my wife to intercept the Amazon package before the dog went crazy on me. All right, so anyway, thank you. All right, it didn't work. All right, so anyway, next. So again, join my library. And once you join my library, as the teacher at the top, there's a little drop down. And I can see who's joined my library. So right now we've got Lydia and Jen. Thank you for joining. All right, anybody else that wants to join, feel free to join in there. I'll leave the library open for a few days so you can get in there and try things out. But basically, that's it. You've invited your kids into the library, and now they're in there. So what can kids do, right, when they're in the library? One, they can view any of the books that are in there. So if you're in my library right now, you can click on these books. You can flip through the pages, you can check them out, but you cannot do anything else, right? You just look at the books. The second thing that teachers and kids can do is click this button that says New Book. when they click new book, they can start building their own books inside your library. Here at the top, we've got some plain books. Down here at the bottom, we have some comic books. My own personal little side note, I always choose a comic book because the top books are blank, right? The bottom books have comic options if we want them. So even if you're not making a comic book, for me, I always choose that one just because I might want some of the comic features eventually. But kids use a book. Now, sometimes kids get a little bit scared because they look at these books and it's just a whole bunch of blank stuff. And they get a little bit nervous by this whole blank page idea. And that's okay, because we also have templates. And so here in our template section, we've got amazing templates that really show you the power of the simplicity of Book Creator. So here's a magazine template, for example. And so you can really see that this book is amazing, right? It looks like a real magazine and it's very polished. The design is really awesome. And as I flip through the book here, I can see all these other amazing pages. And everything that's in here can be editable, right? So there I got rid of the camel picture. I can change the text. I can change the colors, anything I want here within this page. And if you click the plus button, there's even more amazing pages and designs that you can choose from if you want. I like this one a lot. All right, so really cool ways to think about how to set up a page in Book Creator if you have students who just kind of get stuck. All right, but the third option, and the one that we're going to focus on here today, for those of you that can collaboration, we do have the option to turn on collaboration for our books. So collaboration, any book. So I'm going to click the share button. I'm going to click collaborate, and I can decide everybody in the library to collaborate on that book. So it's kind of like everybody's hands in a cookie pot at that point. Or do I want to click change and only choose a certain number of people to work in this book? All right. So if I know that Rafael, and then they can work, everybody else might be able to see it, but only those two students can edit it. In this case, I'm just going to choose it for everybody, and we're going to start collaboration. And now a new icon appears here on our book. And if you click inside of our book, anybody that's in this library can now go ahead and start playing around and editing this book. So I just simply ask that if you are in here, find a page somewhere in this book. I'm going to go towards the end here. All right, I'm going to add a couple extra pages just in case, but I'm going to go to page 8. All right, and I'm going to start playing around, and you can do the same. All right, so find a page in there, and you can start playing around. All right, and Lydia, I love Lydia's comment. All right, and a lot of times I love these comments because it's not coming from me, right? I would say the exact same thing, but it's nice coming from other people. So it is, the only limit is the child's creativity, right, or teacher's creativity. There really is truly something in here for everybody, and we're going to talk a lot about that. So thank you, Lydia, for those comments. But one of the things that I have noticed over the last couple of years, especially during the height of the pandemic, where I don't know, I lost track, but it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 webinars in the last couple of years. And one thing that I have noticed during that time, and even now, right, now that the pandemic is over, right, and we kind of go back to school and things are supposed to be back, really stressed out, like a lot. And I understand. My wife is a school counselor, and I see it every day. I've got 3 kids who are in school, and I see it every day, right, like how stressful things can be. And so one of the things that I really, really love about Book Creator, and I cannot understate or overstate, right, is the fact that Book Creator is easy to use. So easy to use because there's really only 2 buttons that you have to be aware of. There's the plus button here at the top that allows you to add stuff to a book, and then the I button or the inspector right next to it that allows you to change things, right? Change colors and fonts and sizes. So when your kids are stressed out and when your teachers are stressed out and easy is the option, they're going to take it. But don't think that easy is not rigorous, right? Or it can't be amazing, right? Easy doesn't just mean simple fluff, right? It can be all kinds of stuff. So let's check out what we've got here. Under the plus button, we've got media, Down here at the bottom, we have comics, shapes, and more. So I'm going to start with shapes and kind of work our way around the board here. So shapes, there's a pile of shapes, pretty standard. You click on one, it adds a page. So you can use shapes to do, there's timelines. You can put a little asterisk next to this one too, this idea. In remote learning, we're actually using this to put feedback in. Right, so a student had work on a page, teacher puts feedback inside this little shape and kind of sticks it over here to the side. All right, so lots of stuff. Absolutely. Right. I mean, you did want to make a house of card Mickey Mouse, go for it, right? But there's other things you can do there as well. Also, in the shapes tool, there is my part of the shapes, and that is this search bar. So in the search bar, we have a partnership with the Noun Project. And what that allows us to do is it allows us to search for something like car, and then all of these beautiful icons start popping up. All right, so maybe I want the Monopoly car, right? So I click on it, and I can add the Monopoly car right here to my book. I can resize it, I can move it around, and if I click the inspector, I can even change the color. And so maybe I'll go with that Monopoly car color, right? There we go. And so we can have some fun. Great way to, really bring some design into a book. Great way for, students to, use icons for vocabulary. So I've seen a lot of teachers where they'll put the vocabulary word up here at the top, put the definition next to it, sentence next down here at the bottom, maybe over here an icon or an image that represents that vocabulary word. So a lot of different ways that you can use these icons. And you're not going to run out because there's roughly 2 to 3 million icons inside of that search bar. And I'll be honest, I've searched for some really random stuff like photosynthesis. I still get things popping up as images. So really good stuff there. The Shapes tool. Next, I want to talk a little bit about media because this is where the bulk of book creators' goodies are. All right. So in the media section, the very first one is an image search. Now the image search is amazing, and here's something I want to search for. I can use my voice if I'm a younger student to search for items. I'm just going to click car and hit search. And what you'll notice is that these images all come from Pixabay. So these are the safest images that Pixabay allows. They're free to use, free to modify, and they're gorgeous. All right, because I taught students, and I know all of you do too, you know exactly what I'm going to say here in a second, because here's what kids love to do. They find an image, they click their presentation, whatever they're doing, right? Guess what? They didn't add the image, they added the thumbnail. And so a lot of times that image comes in all grainy and gross looking, right? All of these images in here are big, beautiful, gorgeous images like you can see here. So absolutely love the fact that these images are beautiful and crystal clear. You can resize them, you can move them around, all that good stuff like you normally would think you could do. But then here's some other cool things that you images.